on dream incubation techniques or on how to incubate a dream. In this series, I am guiding you through beginning your own dream work practice. We've been going for about 3 weeks now. We've covered a lot of the basic skills, like we started off with 3 ways to use Dreamwork for personal development so you can understand why you would even want to do this practice, or if you are someone who is interested in lucid dreaming or Dreamwork and you just happen to come across this series, then it will give you a little bit of information to brainstorm and think about how you can apply these techniques to your personal life and your personal practice. Then we went on through a lot of information on dream recall, how to use a dream journal, how to remember one dream, how to then move from one dream to 4, 5, 6 dreams per night. We talked about different habits that you may have that are negatively influencing your dream recall. And then I'm trying to think, what else did we do? We talked about intention, setting a powerful dream intention last time, and that leads us to where we are now, talking about how to incubate a dream. So, of course, this is going to be one of the basic skills that you are going to need in your toolbox, especially if you're going to be doing dream practices. Of course, you want to learn how to induce a dream or incubate a dream. Later on, in more advanced practices, this definitely could turn into how to have a lucid dream. I'm not covering lucid dreaming in specifically in this series. This series is just geared towards dream practice in general, non-lucidity, not specific to lucidity. Um, but that's what we're going to be talking about this time. So if you attended the last workshop, or if you are getting this video inside of one of the courses, the previous workshop, you should have created a powerful dream intention. And you're going to need that in order to move on to this step. Dream work deals with the unconscious mind. So hold on, I actually want to turn my air conditioner just clicked on. I want to turn it off. I don't like having that noise in the background. Um, and let me sign into the workshop on my computer so I can see um, any questions that come through. So dream work deals with the unconscious mind. So of course you're going to need a powerful intention in order to kind of saturate and penetrate into the unconscious mind from the conscious perspective, in order to have a strong dream, a powerful dream. And we're going to talk about, how to move from how to move from the intention step to the incubation step. So let me just go ahead and pull up my notes. If you do not have tonight's workbook, I would highly suggest that you go ahead and tap the link in my bio. So it's going to be my Easy Tree link currently, or my Gumroad page. So if you go to easytree.me/hire, or click the EasyTree link in my bio, if it's not there anymore because this, I update the tree every once in a while, you can go to my Gumroad. So I think it's gumroad.com/higher alignment, or higheralignment.gumroad.com. So try one of those and you'll be able to get the workbook. This Dreamwork workbook bundle comes with 2 workbooks. The first one is Intro to Dreamwork and Lucid Dreaming, and the second one is Dreamwork for Personal Development. We're going to be working out of the first one, Intro to Dreamwork and Lucid Dreaming. It is 47 pages. It contains all of our how-tos, our guided exercises, links to external meditations, guided visualizations, how-tos, scientific studies, all of that good stuff. So if you're someone who's very interested in dream work, or even learning how to lucid dream, I would highly suggest that you go ahead and grab that workbook. Once again, I am going to be working and reading from that material tonight. If you want to dive in deeper, you can grab the Dreamwork and Lucid Dreaming for Personal Development Masterclass series. So it has more than 10 hours worth of content, and it comes with both of those workbooks. And it also gets you access to a private Facebook group where I periodically will give you all new challenges or new techniques, or I will hold one-off workshops in there. So if you're interested in lucid dreaming, check that out. Those links will be in the description. Sorry, the plant's on my hair. So let me go ahead and pull up my notes. If you have your workbook, I'm gonna tell you what page to turn to. If I can find it. Is this a workbook? Okay. So I want you to go ahead in the workbook and turn to page 15. It's gonna say influencing your dreams. Okay, turn to page 15. So I'm gonna read just from this section a little bit. Typically, we allow our dreams to unfold as they may, then we will go back and look through them and search for meaning. Another type of dream work that you can do is to influence your dreams so that you can receive a message, or perhaps you just want to go on an adventure. Here are 4 tips that you can use to influence the content of your dreams. So I'm going to go through the 4 tips from the workbook, and then I'm going to also go through just a tad bit more information, just to give you some more food for thought, things that you can think about if you really want to influence a particular dream. So the first tip is to pay attention to what you do 1 to 2 hours before bed, 10 minutes, and then 1 to 2 minutes before bed. So just think about these as 3 time frames: 1 to 2 hours before bed, 10 minutes, and then the last kind of 1 or 2 minutes before you go to sleep. So these time periods are going to influence your dreams. The things that are on your mind, the things that are on your mind all day are definitely going to influence your dreams, but the things that you're particularly thinking about basically before you go to bed. Many of us are familiar with the term karma. There's different types of karma in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition. This type of karma is called proximate karma, and this proximate karma, the thing that the we could say the cause, which is giving this effect of karma right before whatever it is going to happen. Um, this is that proximate karma. So this is really what we are dealing with. So let me just, and it says that in the workbook. Okay, proximate karma. This is a type of karmic law that basically indicates that the energy or habits from a recent event may strongly influence the next event. This is also why in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, there are the preliminary practices that are done before sleep. And this is referring to the 4 preliminaries for dream yoga. So perhaps we'll get into that in another workshop at another time. But in dream yoga, the goal is to go on a spiritual journey, or to go on this journey towards enlightenment using the dream. Yoga means to yoke or to stretch, and here dream yoga, what you're doing is you're stretching the waking state of consciousness into the dream state, a state where we normally don't perceive this waking state of consciousness. So you're kind of exploring and you're stretching consciousness into this unexplored territory. So that's what you do with dream yoga, and there are practices that you do right before bed to influence, once again, the dreams that you have when you go to sleep, and hopefully in that practice to develop lucidity. But all this just comes back to let you know that in general, what you do before you go to bed is going to influence your dreams. You can even think about, even if you eat certain foods before you go to bed. I know for me in particular, I try not to eat chocolate before I go to bed because it makes me have crazy, just very strange, interesting dreams. So I try to avoid that. But also think about like the things that you read before you go to bed, or the things that you're watching on TV, and the conversations that you're having. All of these things can easily pop back up into your dream, and typically we also call this daytime residue. Okay. So let's go on to my second tip that I have for you that you can use to influence your dreams. So the second tip is to write out the dream you want on paper. And this is going to come back up later on in the kind of 3-step process that I'm going to outline for you. I'm going to give you like a further breakdown of this. In that process, I call this the script or scripting. Many of you may be familiar with scripting from the law of attraction technique. or as a law of attraction technique. And that's really where I kind of got this from. But many people do this, and it's very, very helpful. But writing out the dream that you want on paper. When you write out the dream you want on paper, this influences it says subconscious mind, it's supposed to be unconscious mind. This influences the unconscious mind. This activity will implant these thoughts into the unconscious so that they will manifest within the dream. When you're writing your dream, make sure to do so in the present tense. So, this is something that you can do in your dream journal. I would write my dream in the present tense as if it already happened and I am writing it down. So I would do that before I go to bed the first night. Then I'm kind of incubating this dream, kind of planting the seed for that. I would do it that way. One of the tips that I have for you is to use dream symbols and metaphors and images that already show up in your dreams. If you have the workbook, you scroll up just a few pages and begin at page 12. And this section 12, 13, and 14 has information on collecting your dream signs, a breakdown of collecting your dream signs. And this information in the workbook was originally put together to help you develop lucidity. But you can take this same exercise, track your dream signs, and then when you're incubating a dream and you're doing this scripting step, you can pull those dream signs back into the script that you're writing, just so that the dream feels more native to your mind. um, and especially if you're going to be later on maybe incubating a dream that you're going to use for change, or even incubating once again a lucid dream that you're going to use to influence your thoughts, your beliefs, your patterns of behavior, because that's why I teach dream work and lucid dreaming, for personal development. That's what we're typically doing in personal development, shifting our thoughts, beliefs, and patterns of behaviors. Um, well, once again, not typically, dreams speak to us in symbols and metaphors. So, if we want to influence our thoughts or our beliefs in the dream state, it would be very useful to kind of speak the language of the dream. And so, this is going to mean engaging and incubating and utilizing the symbols and the metaphors that are already present and native to the unconscious mind. That's going to help you out. Hello, hello, hello. Let me come back over here. Let me see if I see any questions. Sorry, y'all. I got a new laptop. I'm trying to work it out. Okay. I don't see any questions, so I am going to continue on. So, my tip number 3 for you is to use written affirmations. So, this is kind of an alternative to the scripting. If you didn't want to write out the dream like that, you could just have a written affirmation. So, here's the one I have it in the workbook, an example. Tonight, I'm dreaming about living in a big mansion. Tonight, I'm dreaming about living in a big mansion. And once again, you're writing this in the present tense. And if you're doing this, I would do this outside of my dream journal. I would not do this in my dream journal, because doing this night after night is going to take up a lot of space and a lot of paper. And so I would do this in another journal. Maybe you have a journal specifically for dream planning. So you could have like 2 journals, and I go over that in the video that I have on dream journaling, not the workshop on dream journaling, but there's actually like a how-to video on dream journaling. I believe it breaks it down into 2 different sections like that. One journal for dream journaling, like collecting your dreams and kind of analyzing your dreams, and then another dream for dream planning. So if you wanted to do it that way, or if you wanted to use these written affirmations, I would do that in my dream planning journal. But what you're basically going to do is come up with that written affirmation once again in the present tense, that tonight you're dreaming about X, Y, or Z. And you're going to write that over and over and over for about 10 to 15 minutes before you go to bed. I will do this while I'm in the bed. And it might not take the very first night, but just continue doing it. Continue doing it. And then the fourth tip that I have for you in this section is going to be prayer or requesting for a dream. So if you're a person who has a strong connection with the divine, perhaps you're using your dream work to go into that spiritual aspect of life. I always break life down into 7 different areas: health and fitness, relationships, career, finance, personal development, spirituality, and recreation. So I do this and I advise you to do that as well. So even when you're working with Dreamwork, you can see, um, we'll talk about this in just a moment, your intention or your goal. Maybe you are working in your health and fitness area of life and you want to use your dreams to make progress in this area. Dream work doesn't have to just be specifically towards a spiritual goal. I know that a lot of people use it for that, but it doesn't have to be used for that. It can if you want to, but if you have something else going on, if you're working on money blockages or money manifestations or self care, maybe creating boundaries, maybe letting go of a past romantic relationship, or just many different things, learning more about yourself, or diving in and discovering your untapped and hidden potentials. Maybe that's going to help you make an advancement in your career or start your own business or just go do your own thing. So anyway, if you have a strong spiritual or divine connection, if you have a strong religious connection, then prayer or asking for a dream is also a good way to incubate a dream, okay? So those are the 4 tips from the workbook. It does go into just a little bit, more depth. And once again, if you have the workbook, make sure to explore the information on pages 12, 13, and 14, because that's going to help you collect your dream signs and that activity there, collecting dream sign activity and categorizing them down and all of that good stuff. Then later on, you can pull those back in if you want to work with lucidity practices and reality checks, and even for this purpose of dream incubation. But I have an outline. Let's see, did it? Okay. I have a little outline for us, and I did break it down into 3 different steps. So your first step is going to be intention, your second step is going to be script or scripting, and your third step is going to be inception. So you can, once again, these are general, well, the steps are specific, but they are general in themselves, because there are different ways you can approach each step. So you can tailor it to your lifestyle and your liking and what you like to do. Make sure your dream practice looks like your dream practice. I say the same thing about self-care. Make sure your self-care practice looks like your self-care practice, okay? Anyway, so the first thing you're going to need is your intention. So you want your intention to be very emotionally charged. The more the more important this intention or this goal is for you, then the easier it is going to be to get the unconscious mind to go along with you, because the unconscious mind is you. It is your mind. Many times when we express this, the unconscious mind, it kind of makes it seem like it's something foreign to us. It's not something foreign to us. So if you are interested, then your unconscious mind is interested. So you just want to make sure that you are in alignment. You want to make sure you're in alignment there. If you are, then it's going to make this entire process easy and more beautiful and more pleasant and satisfying for you. It's going to be, an interesting experience. So you can refer back to the workbook. Let me see in the workbook if there is information here. I'm pretty sure there is on a dream intention. And then if you are watching this on the replay, refer back to the previous workshop on creating a powerful dream intention. If you're on my Instagram and this isn't too far along, then you'll also be able to find a post, a carousel post on dream intentions. So I'm trying to find. I guess I should have thought about this, and you can see that there's a lot of information in the workbook. Introduction to lucidity. That's not what we want to do. If I cannot find it in a moment, then we will move on. But I just want to see if I could find it. Oh, so here on page 9. It's under the section Key Skills, and it's going to say Motivation, Inspiration, and Light-Heartedness. Now, once again, some of this information, as you read it, it's written as it is geared towards lucidity practice, but it's the exact same for any type of dream work practice that you're going to engage in. You're going to need that motivation, inspiration, and also some lightheartedness. Once again, even when you incubate a dream, it might not happen on the first night. It might not happen on the second or third or the fourth night either, but just keep with it. And the stronger, once again, your intention and your motivation, the stronger your goal is, that's what this step really is, creating a goal. On page 9 and 10 of the workbook, it guides you through some self-exploration questions in order to help you get that goal clear. Um, but you want your goal and you want to know what it is, of course, that you want to do. And you want to know why you want to do that. That why is very important. So the stronger your why is, then, sorry, I'm trying to get back to my notes. It's like I have too many tabs open and it was crashing. The stronger your why is, the stronger that emotional charge is going to be. And once again, it's going to be easier for you to engage in your dream work practice, okay? So have a goal, have an intention. The next step is going to be your script. So this is what we talked about in the previous section, writing your dream out on paper. So this could be that you write your dream in the present tense as if it already happened in your dream journal or your dream planning journal. Sometimes I will do that in either one of them. If you're going to use the written affirmations technique, then if you're doing that, I would definitely not write that in my dream journal, because you would want to do that 10 to 15 minutes every night before bed as a part of your before bed practice. Um, so however you want to set up, I do advise that you have a before bed practice. So this would include things like reviewing your dream journal and practicing mindfulness meditation or EFT or any of your other self-care practices or anything. And if you're engaging in dream work, you can throw these things in there as they fit. Remember, that's why I'm giving you this 3-step structure, and you can apply the 3 steps using various techniques and things like that and make it fit for your lifestyle. But the script is basically you're going to write your dream out in the present tense as if it already happened. Just like you record your dreams in your dream journal the next morning, this is basically the exact same thing. Um, so what I would do if I were you, and I do this, I will use the law of attraction scripting technique, and I will read this often to myself. So I'll read it to myself in the morning. I'll read it during when I'm in bed or before I go to sleep, or even if I just think about doing dream work throughout the day, or maybe I'm doing lucidity practices. If I'm doing lucidity practices, typically my day is structured a little bit more for dream work. But you could come back to the script or back to the blueprint that you made and just read it. And once again, this is going to constantly put that dream on your mind, because it's going to influence the dreams that you're going to have at night. It's reminding you of your dream goal. It is creating an even stronger energetic connection with that intention and that motivation that you have. So eventually that dream, and it probably isn't going to take long, is going to play out. If you want to supercharge this, you all know that I love EFT. EFT stands for the Emotional Freedom Technique. Some people call it tapping. Here on my YouTube, I have an entire series dedicated to EFT. So check that out if this sounds interesting to you. EFT is basically a technique where you tap on different points in the body. The points they correspond with meridians. We could think about these as, I think about them kind of as like the nervous system, like the nerves are the kind of like veins, how veins carry the blood. Nerves carry like this energy and these electrical impulses throughout the body. So you're tapping on those meridian points. They correspond with organs. The organs correspond with emotions. And you're doing this in combination with another technique, NLP, neuro linguistic programming. And basically you're tapping and you're talking in a specific way, and it allows you to release unsupportive thoughts, beliefs, and patterns of behavior, or to transform or to shift this psychic material, these aspects of the self. So I like to use EFT in combination with my script. Maybe I'll tap, just do my basic tapping sequence while I'm reading my script aloud. Maybe I will actually do an EFT session completely geared towards that dream that I want to have. So I'm incubating it using that EFT technique. If this sounds interesting to you, to make sure to check out that EFT routine series here on the Higher Alignment YouTube channel. The first video goes into a lot more detail, and then each video after that is an actual EFT routine that you can tap and talk and repeat after me, and we go through it together like a guided meditation. It's like a guided EFT routine. So you have your script, and you'll use that. So that's basically your outline. And then the last step is going to be inception. So this is planting the story into the mind. And there are going to be many techniques that you can use, and even kind of the repetitive EFT tapping, or just the speaking and saying your script out loud. That is an inception technique. But let me tell you a few other ones. Ones that I also like to work with are mirror work. I like to work with mirror work. So this is basic. It's really, really easy. I make it very convenient for my life, very convenient for myself. So I come up with a phrase. So this one isn't geared towards dream incubation, but it's the one that just comes to my mind. This one's really for more for dream recall, but you'll get the picture. I'll tell myself, tonight I'm having good dreams. Tonight I'm having many dreams. Tonight I'm having vivid dreams. Tonight I am remembering my dreams. And I'll tell myself this over and over and over when I'm looking myself in the mirror, looking at myself in the mirror after I've used the bathroom and I'm washing my hands. You know, you have the mirror there. It's the perfect opportunity. Look yourself in the eyes and speak your affirmation. So mine for my dream recall is, tonight I'm having good dreams. I'm having many dreams. I'm having vivid dreams. Tonight I am remembering my dreams. And you can easily say, tonight I am dreaming about a castle. Tonight I am receiving an answer to X, Y, or Z in my dreams. Tonight my dream is showing me why. Tonight my dream is, you can come up with your own affirmation statement, and then you'll just use this in combination with looking yourself in the mirror throughout the day and speaking it to yourself. And you want to kind of, once again, have that emotional, energetic charge come in, because otherwise you're kind of just paying lip service to it and you're just talking. That emotional charge, that powerful intention, as we talked about it, is going to come in handy. Well, let me look at my list and see what other interesting things. Hypnosis. So if you're someone who likes hypnosis, I've been thinking about doing some kind of more guided meditation hypnosis type videos here for the channel, but that definitely works. That's definitely a good way. Liminal dreaming, liminal visualization. So we haven't talked about liminal dreaming that much, but the liminal state is either the hypnagogic state, and so this is the kind of bridge state between waking and sleeping, or waking and dreaming. Just as you're falling asleep, typically you may hear things, you may think that you see things, you're kind of falling asleep, you're in and out of sleep. If you can maintain awareness here, this is the perfect time to even say your positive affirmation in your mind as you're falling asleep. Allowing it once again to activate that law of proximate karma, allowing this thought, this intention to be the last thing on your mind before you fall asleep. You can even implant a little visualization there, kind of visualize the main portion of your dream, or say you came up with you're gonna get an answer from your dream, and you're gonna read it in the book, or you're gonna see it on TV, or it's gonna come out of your cell phone. You're gonna pick up your cell phone in your dream, and the message is gonna be there. Kind of imagine and visualize this part of the dream happening as you're falling asleep, and visualize it happening successfully. So you can do that. I love liminal dreaming. Liminal dream work is a powerful practice, and it's very interesting. This is what Benjamin Franklin used to come up with a lot of his inventions, and also Salvador Dali really used this liminal dream state in order to come up with a lot of his paintings and his artwork. That's why it looks the way that it looks, because he, I believe he would kind of let himself almost fall asleep in a chair. He would have like a metal plate underneath him, and he would have a spoon in his hand. And of course, he would hold his hand up, and then when he fell asleep, he would drop the spoon. The spoon makes the noise on the plate and wakes him up, and he's trying to surf this state of consciousness between waking and sleeping, and receive these hypnagogic images and this information from the hypnagogic state. You also experience this on the other end, the hypnopompic state, when you're waking up from sleep. But that state is not really conducive for incubating a dream, because we're actually coming out of the dream. So stick with the hypnopompic state, and you can use that as you're falling asleep. You can visualize, you can repeat your positive affirmation or your dream intention to yourself. And if you play around with liminal dreaming, you will learn how to stay in the liminal state longer, and really, yeah, be in this space, and you'll be able to do more in that. EFT, we talked about EFT. You can use that as an inception technique. Affirmations. So those are really, I feel like, the biggest ones. Ones that I feel like are easy to do. These are all relatively easy to do. You can fit them in 5-10 minutes. If you're doing the mirror work or the affirmations or the scripting, you can do those throughout the day. It doesn't take very long. Say you make your script just one page, you can read that to yourself out loud a few times a day, okay? So hopefully you have enjoyed this content and this information. We're going to continue moving along in this series on beginning your dream work practice. Check out my other videos on dream work and lucid dreaming. There are a ton on here. I have a series called Living the Dream Life, where I was documenting my own dream work journey here. So I'm going to have to update that soon, because it's literally been months. But if you have enjoyed this content and this information, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you can get notifications on all future videos. Right now, I have new videos that come out every Monday at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Eastern. And then I go live here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern, doing these personal development and metaphysical workshops. If you're interested in dream work or lucid dreaming, make sure to check out the Dreamwork workbook bundle, as well as the Dreamwork and Lucid Dreaming Masterclass series. And I will include links to all of the information that you will need in the description box below. I'm going to head out of here, and you all have a wonderful rest of your evening.